got this new deck, and the new deck that I got is Afro Goddess Tarot. Now, I've been wanting this deck for a while. It's a very, well, actually all tarot decks are expensive. What am I talking about? But I think this was the one I've been wanting for a while. But anyway, so Afro Goddess Tarot. Alyssa, hey, how are you? It's been a while since I've seen you. How are you? So Afro Goddess Tarot. I just got this yesterday. I haven't even opened it at all yet. It's still like, you know, got the packaging and stuff like that. I'm doing all right. But yeah, I kind of, you know, I think this is a pretty sweet deck too. I had seen this, and actually, you know, the one that I saw on Etsy, I think the one that, if this is the same deck, which I guess I'll know when I open it, if it's the same deck, the one that I saw on Etsy was like $75 or something crazy like that, and that is a lot. This one was $46, which is still, I know sounds like a lot for a deck, but that's around more, I don't know, that's more of a reasonable price in my opinion. 46 is a little bit more reasonable. However, it was a gift card anyway, so I don't have $46 to blow on a, I don't want to say blow on a tarot deck, but spend on a tarot deck. Okay, let me see if I can get this open. I don't know. I mean, obviously, eventually it'll happen, but let me see if I can. Okay. So, here's the deck, Afro Goddess. And I'm opening it now to see what's up. I haven't gotten a new deck in a while. Yes, definitely. I hear you with that, Alyssa. So it's like a whole thing that opens like that. Yeah, this is the deck. This is exactly the deck, because I just remember seeing it and it has like gold on it, and it's like really, really nice, really pretty deck. And it's purple, which purple is one of my favorite colors. So it's got this guidebook thing. I don't typically like to use the guidebooks or anything like that, but I mean, that's nice that it comes with this. So it just goes through and gives you a breakdown of all the cards, even though, you know, each card has a particular meaning, or like a particular meaning to it, but also depending on the context of the reading and the individual reader, sometimes that changes the meaning of the card, because I don't know, because it just does. So that's just how it happens sometimes. If you're reading intuitively, some people just read the cards, but some people read intuitively. So here is the deck in there. Oh shit. Now, trying to see. I think that's what they called it. I'm gonna look it up real quick though, hang on. Okay, that's what I thought. The map that they have on here, I'm pretty sure is Pangea, which is just what the what the continent of Africa was prior to, I don't remember the like details behind it, but yeah. So here's the deck, and that's what I'm saying is Pangea. So I'm gonna open the deck. So on the side, you know, you got the gold. I'm gonna use this deck right after this to do a tarot reading. I haven't figured out whether I'm gonna do a collective one or Cancer reading with this deck. Probably Cancer, I'm not gonna lie, just because the last one I did was, I think the last one I did was a collective. But I have to do the collective and Cancer readings for this upcoming week anyway, so I might aim to do both. Now, these cards, oh my gosh, these cards are dope. They honestly are, because they're like, I don't know what you call it, but that material that's like, I'm gonna Google that. Hang on one sec to see what it's called. Okay, so it's holographic. That's what it is. So I don't know if you can see this, but the cards are really nice, really pretty, beautiful paintings on the decks. And obviously the deck is called Afro Goddess Tarot, so each card has a beautiful goddess on the card. Wow, the High Priestess. Damn, this deck is just, wow. I just don't even know what to say. I see why somebody was selling it for $75, even though that was like, you know, too much. I don't know why they put this goddess as the Fool. She almost looks like the Hermit. I would go see her for some medicine healing or some shit like that. That's the vibes I'm getting from her. The Fool is like really, not very wise. So, I don't know though. But the Fool has its own purpose. Oh wow, the Empress. The Empress and Emperor cards, I'll show you those. And the deck always comes in order of like, so the Fool is always the first deck in the card. Look at that. Emperor and Empress. Wow. Amazing. The Hierophant. Ooh, the Lovers. Now look at this. Huh. And you know, I feel like the Devil is on, I think the Devil is on the other Lovers card. Do you see in the moon, up in the moon? But yeah. Wow, this deck is really beautiful. It's pretty cool. Strength, Leo. Ooh, look at this. Look at this card. Wow, the Hermit. Okay, this is what the Hermit card looks like. Huh. Wearing all white. Yeah, no, I was just thinking about that. I'm like, you know, she's the Hermit, but in this deck, they, you know, I'm just looking at the outfit that they give her, but it's like, but then I thought to myself, who says you can't be sexy and wise? Or, you know, who says you can't be sensual and wise at the same time, you know? Wheel of Fortune. Wow, this deck is just awesome. Wheel of Fortune. Justice card here. Wow, the Hangman, and they use the Ankh, the symbol of Ankh, which represents the womb, and the, pretty sure it represents like the male and female, you know, down there. But it's, I don't, let me Google it real quick. But the Ankh does symbolize the womb. But I know it has, there's a deeper meaning to it beyond that. There's more to it than that. So let me see real quick. Okay, so the Ankh, that symbol, Ankh, also known as the key of life, is an ancient Egyptian symbol representing life or breath of life. It's a T shape with a teardrop-shaped loop on top. We know that, and symbolizes many aspects of life, including immortality. But that part was true, where it's like the round part, the top part of the Ankh represents the female womb, and then the lower half represents the male. So, and the Ankh was used in writing as a trilateral sign for the sequence of consonants, which appears in words like life, mirror, and floral bouquet. Here's how the Ankh was used. Protection, worn as an amulet for protection and long life. Gift of immortality, given by gods to pharaohs, representing the god's gift of life to humanity. Afterlife, placed in sarcophagy? I have no clue. And depicted in funeral ceremonies to symbolize passage into the afterlife. Power held by gods like Ra and Osiris to represent their power over life and death and to revive souls in the afterlife. Wow, so it's used, I mean, there's a lot of different uses, but the Ankh is a symbol. Hey, Gungai, how's it going? The Ankh is a symbol originating in ancient Egypt. It is also known as the key of life or key of the Nile, and can symbolize both life and life after death. Yep. So there's that. So that is the... Oh, shit. Okay, if you can even see it anymore. That's the Afro Goddess Tarot deck. And in a second, I'm about to do a reading with it, probably for Cancer. So if anyone's interested, definitely, you know, feel free to come back for the reading. I think I might stay on here just for a couple minutes just to, you know, do what I do, but hang on. Okay. So yeah, so definitely I'm excited to use that deck. It's a very, very beautiful deck, and one that, like I said, I wanted a while ago, but it was like $75 on Etsy, and I don't have $75 for tarot cards, so, like, ever. The only deck I spent $70 on for a tarot deck was the Blacklight Tarot deck, and that was only because I was like, okay, well, this is like, it's unique, you know, I've never seen anything like it, so it's like, okay, yeah, I'll pay for that, but I'm not going to pay $70 for anything other than something like crazy like that, where it's like, oh yeah, I've never seen this shit before, I've never, you know, I don't know. But yeah, $75 for a tarot deck is a lot, but this one, where I bought it at, I got it for $46, which is good. And also, not telling you, not giving medical advice by any means. So let me just make that as a disclaimer, but I'm starting to think, like, because I just went where I went to go buy this tarot deck, she was talking about different herbs, and like she was telling me, like, you can use herbs for things that I thought that you needed modern medicine to do or achieve. So that's just something to keep in mind or to look into more. And something I'm going to look into more is like natural remedies for things, because we blow a lot of money on, paying for things that pharmaceutical companies pump out so they can keep making money, but we've got shit that grows out of the ground that can do the same shit. But they don't want to tell you that because they won't get the money. So $10 at an herbal shop might cost you hundreds if you actually go to a fucking quote-unquote doctor. So, I don't know. So there's that. I think that's very cool, and I'm gonna look into that more. I don't know, everything just comes full circle. I bought this tarot deck from well, I would have considered her a family friend, but maybe not after what I talked to her about or found out. But like, I bought it from her shop. She owns her own business, so her mom, I don't want to give too many details, but her mom knows my dad. I'll just put it that way. And so I was holding on to this gift card that I had for her shop, for her business. She has like a spiritual business or shop. And I was holding on to the gift card for the past like 2 to 3 years. I got this gift card like years ago. And something kept holding me back from going, holding me back from going. I'm like, why am I so hesitant? I mean, I just thought it was because I'm an introvert and I have anxiety and I just avoid people. So I just thought, okay, well, that's regular. That's just typically what I do. But then after, I woke up woke up one day and I was like, I bet she has some answers to some questions that I have regarding karmic people, karmic family members of mine. And sure enough, she did. And so I find it very ironic that I held off on going to her business for years and I didn't realize why. And then, like, I know why now. It's because I had to close out this karmic cycle with my family of origin, because had I gone to her shop before that, I wouldn't have the information that I had this, like, now, in order to get the answers that I needed from her. So, divine timing is real. That's my point in sharing that, is that divine timing is fucking real. It sure is. But, yep, I ended up getting that deck, and now I'm gonna use it. But shout out to her, and kind of gave me the information I needed to basically just validate my reality and confirm what I was thinking. But I needed the information from, like, I don't want to say a non-biased source, but somebody that was outside of my family. And I got what I needed. So that basically closes out a huge, huge karmic cycle for me in my life that was, like, pretty much running my life. So I just find it interesting that, like, so the deck is really special, basically. Even more special than, because, like, I feel like all my decks are, but it's like, and it's also symbolic too. It's also symbolic now that I think about it too. It's kind of crazy. Because it's like, it's just making me think of that one shorts that I posted of that guy who says, you know, be careful how you treat people, man. Be careful how you treat people. Just kind of making me think about that, because it's like, and it's also making me think of that stupid, sorry, no offense, but that song from the 90s that was like, what if God was one of us? That song. It's just, again, you got to be careful how you treat people, because they may be your key to healing or closing out a karmic cycle or path in your life that could bring you all of the abundance that you're looking for. And, you know, and I'm not speaking about myself, I'm speaking about family members of mine. Yeah. And I know what that feels like too, being put in that position where it's like people underestimate you. And then it's too late. So yeah, it's like being greedy is not doing God's work. Doing something because you know the outcome is going to get you money or get you, you know, some type of selfish benefit, that's not God's work. That's not doing God's work. That's you being a selfish bastard, pretending, you know. And I'm not talking about anyone in particular, but more so mindsets and perspectives of certain people that I've been around. And it's just like, that's so crazy. But we all do get our karma, you know, good and bad. What in God's name is going on right now? Okay, I guess this person's parallel parking. I will not parallel park. Yeah, but you can't just like take and take and take from people and then mistreat them and then just like pretend you were a nice person and think that the universe is going to bless you. You have to learn the lessons. You have to learn the karmic lessons and heal the karmic patterns in order to get the reward, to reap the full benefits and abundance. And if you don't figure that out, well, you're going to be highly disappointed, because you're going to see that the universe is going to basically, kind of like the government comes and garnishes your wages, the universe does that too with your finances. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Joe Smith, you were an asshole to this person, and that person. Oh, you were greedy? Okay, so we're going to make sure that XYZ happens so that you're put in a similar position to know what that feels like. That's the lesson. So that you don't repeat those patterns that continue to hurt yourself and other people. So it's not for nothing. It's not like the universe just like punishes you to be like, ha, fuck you, asshole. I mean, maybe that's partially it, depending on the person, but the bigger picture is that you're supposed to be learning a lesson, and if you don't, that's where the bad karma comes in, because you're not learning what it is that God and the universe sent you here as a soul to learn. And that's the truth, is that we're all sent here to learn something, because Earth is just like, I don't know, there's theories on it, but there's theories that people say that Earth is like a prison, or Earth is like, like a prison for souls, or a rehabilitation place for souls, or like a school for souls. And so some of us are brought here to learn these karmic lessons because we didn't learn them in previous lives. And so, well, here we are again. Or some of us, I think, are brought here because we're here to guide people through those lessons, which is why, like, for example, people like me, and that's not to say that earth angels don't have their own lessons and stuff like that, but a lot of times earth angels will just find themselves around a lot of people that have a lot of lessons to be learned. Earth angels have their lessons, but they learn them early on so that they can help guide other people. So yeah, because they have a specific purpose here. So yeah, so that's what people don't realize, is they think that, people really, really understand the objective of being here on Earth, and that's why there's so many people in pain and suffering, because a lot of souls are lost, which is why they were brought here to learn, but a lot of them don't learn, and they just repeat karmic patterns over and over and over again. And so, here we are. Which is why this place is so painful for some of us, which is why this world is such a painful place for some of us souls who are like looking around like, what in God's name did I do in a past life to get me here, around all these people? But I'm here to reassure you that sometimes it's not what you think. Like I said, for some souls, they are in the positions that they're in because they're not learning, and so they're reaping the consequences of not learning those karmic lessons. But then there's some people who are here to learn those karmic lessons because they're earth angels and they're here for a specific mission and purpose, and they learn those things fairly early on, fairly quickly, and cycle through these things in the first part of their lives so that they can continue to guide people here on Earth and teach them. It's more of a remembrance, to be honest, than it is like Earth angels learning lessons. It's like they come on Earth and they have to remember who they are. We have to remember who we are. And so in order to remember who we are, we have to be taken through some of these karmic lessons and cycles and patterns in order to discern who we are versus other people. So essentially it's like spiritual tests, training. It's like training for earth angels, basically. And then from there, you lead by example, basically. I mean, yeah, pretty much. And obviously there's more to it than that, but it's just, this place is a fucked up place, and if you've ever wondered why you feel like you don't fit and that it's really fucked up and very painful, but it seems like, wow, it's not phasing anybody else. I mean, it is, but maybe not to the degree it's phasing you. Well, you might be highly sensitive or be an empath or have some type of, or there could be something else going on too. Obviously, look at all possibilities before just throwing yourself, before defining yourself, I guess. Yeah. So, but yeah, if you end up like that, you'll be forced to give back and pay your karmic debt in roundabout ways. Which usually, it usually does come in the form of financial stuff. Sometimes health stuff. Depending on what you've done. Man. And again, it's not just to be a straight up punishment. It's just more so to be a wake up call. Hey, you're an asshole who didn't learn the lesson. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. And so this is a warning that you need to get it together, because that's why you were brought here. That's why I look at death different than other people, because to me, death is just your soul goes back, And I think sometimes what happens is, if a soul is not willing to learn the lessons that they need to learn here on Earth, I think the universe sometimes, that's the purpose of... It's not always the purpose, obviously. But yeah, life. It's a really weird thing, but it helps me to look at life in this way, because then I can detach more from some of these super fucked up people. And it's yeah, I just kind of imagine that my real soul family, soul tribe, my real people, they're on a different planet somewhere. Not here. I'll just put it that way. My people aren't here. And so, yeah, some people could say, are you dissociating? Nope, not dissociating, bub. Just know that I'm not of the earth. And, oh shit. I hope I can find this later. I'm not of the earth, and so therefore, it's... I don't know how I do it. I'm not a psychopath, but I can detach from some of these, these labels that we put on things and on people, and that's what creates the suffering. Because we put so much expectation, Fuck. I need a lighter. Is that a lighter? I know there's one around here, people. But yeah. So I think some people probably feel like... Okay. I swear there was a lighter down here. I swear there was, people. Yep. Okay. Yeah, so, for me... Yep, starseed. Exactly. It's okay, gun guy, I feel like... Am I wrong? But I feel like that last cancer reading, I'm not gonna lie, when you popped up in the room, it was definitely sounding like you're your in-laws, or not your, I don't think they're still your in-laws, but it was making me think of that when I was doing that a little bit. I was like really, I don't know if I was picking up on the energy, but yeah, there was that. I was thinking about that a lot. But yeah. That's why it's like I think people might think I'm, you know, kind of cold about things, or like they don't understand. Oh, it was resonating. Okay, that's what I felt. It's like when I saw you pop up in the room, I'm like, oh, this probably pertains to him, just because of what you were telling me before. And yeah. Yeah, and I can relate. I can definitely relate to that. So that's why I think people think I'm kind of like, probably in my family probably think like, damn, she's cutthroat, or she's like real cold. And it's like, no, it's just that people really don't understand how much I'm living for my spiritual purpose, for like how, I don't think people understand, like, because they know I do tarot, but like they don't understand like how connected to God and the divine I am. Like, I think they think it's like, oh, it's like she's alternative. It's like, nope, I'm still like living God's mission and purpose. Like, that's what I'm doing. That is the purpose of, like, that's what I'm doing, you know? And so it doesn't matter to me what other people think about it, or, you know, whether other people understand it or not, you know? I don't really care, to be honest, because the divine understands it, I understand it, and I know it's where I'm supposed to be, and I know that some of these people are, or a lot of these people rather, are wrong. Very wrong. And I've gotten confirmation of that in several different ways. So it's just like, I just don't really care what people think anymore, because they're not on the spiritual path like I am. So I don't, we have different journeys. Our lives look very different, and I'm perfectly okay with that. And it actually just makes life easier when you start realizing that, like, I don't, like, I guess I'm related to these people, but like, I don't know. I don't even feel that way anymore. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it. Actually, I've kind of always felt, I've always kind of felt that way, um, but yeah. So it's like, you know, if people don't want to learn their lessons, and people don't want to become healthier people, and walk on the spiritual path with you, you can't continue to hold out your light or be the light for people who want to stand in the dark. You know what I mean? Like, let them stand in the dark then and be fucking idiots. Go for it. I don't give a fuck. Bye. I'm afraid of the dark. I'm getting the fuck out of here. See ya, bitch. The fuck? I was only in here to save your dumbasses, but you don't want to come out. So, bye-bye. You're staying in there, I guess. But see, people get greedy with star seeds, light workers, and shit like that, because, I mean, I hate to say it, but that's kind of what it's reminding me of, is like, we kind of get used as, you know, like the lantern and the hermit card. That's kind of what we get used as. It's like, oh yeah, we just want this person around to like bring up the energy, to like highlight our positive aspects, but not to bring the truth, you know? So when you start speaking the truth, that's when people start trying to dim your shine or dim your light. And that's when you got to go. Because part of being an earth angel is not just lifting people up, it's also waking people the fuck up, you know? And in order to wake people up, you don't pussyfoot around them. You say, hey, motherfucker, let's go. This ain't no up and at 'em. My dad used to do that, up and at 'em. And we wanted to just punch him for the, it was so annoying. You know what I mean? But sometimes you got to be annoying when you're trying to, right? So when you're trying to, not annoying, obviously you just want to alert someone when you're trying to wake them up. So you can't do that by just being like, yeah, you guys are really great people, and I'm just going to keep telling you you're great and going along with this even though you're not. You know? That's just feeding people's egos, and that's not what a light worker was sent here to do. We're sent here to shine light on those dark areas of people's shadow sides and their ego, which involves a lot of ego. Not to stroke their ego, but see, light workers kind of work like, to be honest, like how energy vampires work, but the opposite way, if that makes sense. It's like we always bring the light, but we show up in such a way that leads people to believe that we could potentially be a sucker or, codependent or easily fooled. And then once we get in there and we realize, because obviously just like when you're taking a client, for example, like in my job, when I'm taking a client, like you don't know the person right away. You got to get to know the person and then see what you're working with and then go from there. So you have to build rapport, kind of like that. And then it's like, once you find out what the issue is, you don't just sit there and keep chit-chatting and telling the person that, oh, wow, you're just great and your life rocks. Like, no, you don't keep doing that. You start pointing out reality to people. And that's a hard thing to do as a light worker and an earth angel, because, you don't want to offend people, but also, if you have trauma you've experienced or you've been oppressed in any way that's led you to suppress your own self. But anyway, long story short, that's what's needed, though. The truth is what's needed. And, healthy people, they can handle the truth. That's pretty simple. It's not that simple, that statement, but whatever. I just don't feel like over-explaining. Or explaining, rather. But, yeah. I do think I'm going to do a cancer reading next. I mean, after this. Right after this. And we'll see what comes up. But, yeah, man. I'm not afraid to stand up, because ultimately, at the end of the day, I just saw this shorts that reminded me of this, that ultimately, and that's what I've been feeling this whole time when I've had to cut off some other family members that are narcissistic. And that's what I've been feeling this whole time, is just that, like, I don't know, I guess I just know that because I know these people and I just feel into things and whatever. But it's like, I know that's why nobody has stepped to me in that way. Mostly. Some have, and I respect them for it, albeit they're overstepping my boundaries, but either way. So I guess I don't respect that. Fuck them. I guess I don't respect that. But I mean, you have some balls to keep stepping over my boundaries. I will put it that way. So whatever you want to call that, desperation. But it's definitely not, it's disrespectful. But either way, I saw this video that basically said that, shit, let me see if I can remember what I was initially trying to say. Damn. That narcissistic people are more threatened by you than you are by them. And that's true, because they're terrified of being exposed and their egos are so fragile that essentially, if you just have confidence and self-esteem, and as long as you're living in integrity and don't have a problem, whatever, as long as you're doing that, I keep going on these long-winded, then you'll be fine. But like, I think I'm basically just trying to say that narcissistic people, they're threatened by that. and they're threatened by the truth because the truth exposes them. So, I don't know, like, it's never personal, anything they do. It's kind of pitiful and pathetic to think about that, like, you know, some people grow to, like, get to some of these ages and they're still doing some of this stuff. I can't even imagine that. I feel like I've done so much inner work in my early years, I'm going to be bored by the time I get to that age. There's going to be literally crickets in my head. That's it. Crickets. Because it's going to be like, So anyway, I'm just saying that's why that's also why it's important to do your healing work, because I've done my healing work, and with narcissistic people, they haven't done their healing work. So you think that you're going to, not to say you won't struggle when you get away from a narcissistic person. Obviously, your brain is going to be, you're going to be struggling mentally and emotionally. And maybe even financially or in other ways. But the one thing that you can bank on that a narcissist can't is that will change for you over time. You'll heal over time. But what's not going to change for them is, well, anything. So you're going to heal, and meanwhile, they're just going to be stuck there, and you're going to have removed your light and your energy and your help and your love and care and emotional support, and they're going to be stuck like with themselves, trying to figure out other ways to cover up who they truly are or maintain this facade or this image. And, well, in my situation, it's going to be very hard for this particular person to do that, because like, well, I don't even know if I would consider that, because I've lived my life in such a way where, like, authentically, let's just put it that way. I'm an authentic person, and so it's going to be hard for people to, like, I don't know how to put this into words, but like, there's going to be a big question mark left in a lot of people's minds. I'll just put it that way, because it's not going to add up. Because I'm the type of person where if I cut you off, I'm not just cutting you off to cut you off. I'm cutting you off because you have legitimately done something to me. And I think most people with any ounce of critical thinking, I guess, skills under their belt is going to take 0.5 seconds to say, there's something off about this. People don't just cut people off for no reason. Typically. Unless they are a narcissist and they're like, doing a narcissistic pattern of behavior. But if it's in response to abusive behavior, I mean, what's the excuse? What can you blame it on? Because before, this particular person could blame these other people because there were very obvious signs of dysfunction. And granted, there's been signs of dysfunction with me as well, but it's, again, going to be much harder to buy. It's like, well, still, why are you being such an asshole? Still, why haven't you tried to see if this person's okay? Like, there's just going to be a lot of questions around it. Like, and on top of that, I don't keep my mouth shut. So everything I'm finding out, I'm not gossiping, but I'm in communication with a particular family member that is not an idiot. I'll just put it that way. And in the process of figuring out if there's an even better way, or if I even want to expose this person further. But they're definitely going to be exposed by me removing my presence altogether, period, because that's going to speak volumes. Like, what did you guys do? It's not going to be like, oh, like, what did I do? It's going to be like, huh, that's odd. That doesn't sound like her. So most people are going to be left again with a question mark of, huh, since that doesn't sound like her, again, what happened? It's not going to explain anything because I'm not the type of person that's just a bitch for no reason. You got to give me a reason. And you got to give me a lot of reasons before I say fuck you and fuck off. So, it's also going to beg the question of, well, clearly it's not just her, because then wouldn't she have cut everybody off, right? Like, I mean, if it was just, like, if this person's just, again, question mark. So, my absence is very loud. It will be very loud. And the reason it's going to be so loud is it's going to be forever. And that's the loudest silence you can provide, is a permanent peace out, bitch. And not out of anger, not out of a grudge, nothing. No, I love these people. Love these people. Wish I could be around them. They're delusional. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's nothing deeper than that. Obviously, I'm very angered at this one particular person, but fuck it. I don't have time to dwell on it. I only have so much of my life to live, and now that I've figured it out, all you have to, you just set boundaries, remove yourself, and not to say there's not healing around it. Obviously, I've been doing a lot of healing around it, but yeah, no animosity in my heart towards this family member or any family members or anything like that. For me, it's just more so, oh, that's who you are? Okay, see ya. Have a good one. Oh, I just didn't realize you were nuts, but that's okay. I'll just, see you next lifetime. Maybe when we die, I don't know, like, where our souls go, but later. I mean, what more can you do, And it's not to be ignorant or whatever, disrespectful or what. No, it's just, you don't let people disrespect you and continue on in that way. And yeah, it's a relief for me. I don't expect anything other than to be left the fuck alone. That's it. And I'm good with that. I mean, I already knew it, so that's like part of this for me, is like I already kind of went through it. Like 10 years ago, I knew my plan of what I was going to do, get my education and then peace out. I already had a plan, but I just played motherfuckers at their own game because I'm smart and I knew. So I utilized the resources I had, did what I had to do, and then Neptune and Aries came through and gave me that push. That's all there was to it. So I think that's why I'm talking about it so casually, because it's something I've been aware of for a very long time. So it's not like shocking to me. It's not like I've been observing. I'm very intelligent, and I'm not trying to brag, but like, I'm just saying, like, I've been quietly observing for like the past decade behavior and analyzing it, and like essentially doing a case study on some of these family members in my own brain of like, oh, I see. Okay, so yep, you do that pattern with that person. You've done it with that one and that one. Now me. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, and you thought I was going to stick around. That's hilarious. It's actually funny. And what's funny to me about it is like, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. So I knew what I had to do, and that's all there is to it. And I did it. And now, you know, financially speaking, I'm manifesting abundance, universe, lots of abundance, lots of money, specifically millions. Thank you, universe. Appreciate you. But at the moment, I'm headed in that direction. I'm on my way there. And still on the way, though, you know. So it's like, but for me, I mean, that's the other thing that's hilarious and working against some of these people is like, I give zero fucks about money. I don't care about money at all. I've never cared for material things. I've never been into that kind of stuff. So, for me, it's an easy choice, very easy choice. I would rather be homeless and on the street than miserable and in bad company sitting on a comfy couch. I'm sorry, but no. No. That is not where the fuck it's at. So that is what is working against. And that's where the karma comes in. And that's why I always say kids are people's karma. And I don't mean that in a bad way necessarily, but it's just if you don't heal your own wounds, a lot of times your kids end up having to go through those patterns and heal them. And then as a result, you may suffer bad karma out. I'm not saying that's always the case. I'm talking like if you're a narcissistic parent, you know what I mean? I'm not talking like if you're a normal, I don't like the word normal, but like somebody that's trying, you're trying to heal, you're trying your best. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like people that have not learned or healed the patterns, or they have no intention of doing so. It's just funny. It's just funny how things turn out, because like I said, I don't care about material things at all. I would be comfortable sleeping on a floor, and I just feel like that's a part of the karma, because it's like these people would utilize money or use money to try to keep people attached. And I'm not one to stay attached over any amount of money. Literally, I don't care. Literally don't care. You can take the money and donate it. How about that? See ya. Or flush it down the toilet, or shove it up your ass. I really don't care. I don't want the money. I don't want dirty money. That's dirty money. Oh, hey, if you just stay attached to me, here's your reward at the end. I'm gonna have to go for now. I'm good. Yep, connection, love, healing, growth, freedom, peace. All of those things, those are the things I value. I do not value money or material things. Like, I'm grateful to have the things that I need, but like, I'm not willing to be a sellout in order to have that. I walk alone. I'm very headstrong. I will literally walk alone for my entire life just to prove a point. Yeah, I will. So, I mean, you know what I mean? That's like the type of vibe. Like if I have to, you know, it's like, and not for the purpose of or sake of ignorance, but or just stupid stubbornness or blind stubbornness, but whatever's righteous, you know, whatever's the righteous way or the righteous path, that's the one to follow. So, and I also believe that this is what I was called to do. I think this is what I was called to do because nobody else had the strength to do it, and I'm the generational curse breaker, so it's my job to do it. That's what I'm supposed to do. To potentially save future bloodlines from that narcissistic dynamic. It ends with me. Man, but for real, if I had money, I would disappear and like, for real, like, you know, fall off the face of the earth type, you know. I would just be like this weird, nomadic family member that people are like, yeah, we like only knew her until she was like 30. Yeah, we have no clue. It's like, it's been like 30 years. Yeah, nobody's heard from her. Nobody's seen her. I have no clue. We know she's alive because she sent us Morse code, you know, but we can't read it. So, yeah, bitches, that's what I would do. But I don't have the money to do that, so. Universe, hey. So, Cancer reading. That's what's coming next. Right after this. My week off is over. Unfortunately, but I don't know. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of just being off grid. Nobody knows me. Nobody's seen me. But, yeah. I keep hearing that song, The Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day. That's how he's always says in that song, I walk alone. I don't listen to Green Day or anything like that, but, you know, classic. Well, hey, I mean, you can have like a nomadic little tribe thing going on, you know? You can all be off grid. Homeschool. It would probably take a lot more effort. You could homeschool the kids. That's what I would do if I ever had kids. I would, again, these are, ideally speaking, dreams, you know. I don't know if I would have the energy. If I actually was a parent, I might say, huh, fuck that. But ideally, I don't think I don't think the school systems are really doing kids any oh damn, okay. Good luck tomorrow with that. You know what? Gun guy, I don't know if you would like this. I just found this woman's channel she's a lawyer and she talks a lot about narcissists and the way that she like conveys like the information is very, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like it's just helpful. So if you're interested in that, I can let you know. I can't remember her name though. So let me see if I can remember it and I can give that to you. But good luck on that tomorrow. So are you trying to get 50-50 or is she trying to get 50-50 or where do you stand with that? Okay, yeah, I can definitely I'll look that up right now. The live is gonna buffer real quick, but I'm gonna go look at that and I'll be right back. I'm not going off. Okay. Okay, so okay. Okay, so I found the account. I don't know if there's a way to like, can I pin something up here? Like I don't really know. I don't think I can. But if you have anything to write with nearby, I can give you the name of her account. Her name is her at my bad. Her at is like, I think it's like, is it Rebecca Zhang? It's like Rebecca Zhang Esque. Let me, hang on, sorry. Okay, so her at is at Rebecca, just like Rebecca, Zung, Zung, Esque. So Rebecca Zung Esque. But I'm pretty sure if you just look up Rebecca Zung, you could probably find her. But she's a lawyer. And like I said, she talks about, I just found her. And I just like the way she was talking about things. And I bet she has some shit on there about going to court with a narcissist. Also, I don't know if I recommended that book to you. It's called Splitting by Krieger is their last name. Something Krieger. Kreger. Something Krieger. But the book is basically, and it's called Splitting, and it's about like basically divorcing and going to court with somebody that has a personality disorder and how you can, how to navigate that basically. So if you're interested in that, I don't know if I've already told you about that book though. And it's by, I'm gonna look it up. Okay, so it's called Splitting by Randy Krieger. Randy Krieger. Reger. Yeah, no problem. I hope that helps. And how are you feeling about court tomorrow? Are you doing okay? Are you feeling kind of nervous? I would imagine. Understandably so. So does she have full custody of the kids right now? Then I know I've talked to you about this before. I apologize. I've been through a lot of stress and weed smoking. So my memory is not the greatest after some of the, especially this year. Oh my, just actually no, my whole life. I'm just gonna leave it at that. My whole life, after my whole life. Yeah, it's understandable. Is this your first time having to go to court with her, or like I don't know. If you even want to talk about it, you don't have to talk about it either, you know. I know it's just not an ideal situation that you're having to deal with. Okay, let's see. I don't know. I was thinking maybe I was going to do the reading in my car, but no, I think I'll do it inside probably. Yeah, but narcissistic people, they will always try to paint you out to be a certain type of way, but the best way to combat that is just with by showcasing that you're the opposite, especially in court. You know, it's like because a lot of people don't understand narcissistic abuse, and they also don't understand reactive abuse, so they don't understand like the complexities and how rage inducing it is unless they've been there. So, you know, it's almost like that could be used against you by the narcissistic person, but also potentially the judge, because the people that we have judging some of the most important issues or matters, well, they don't have proper discernment because they're not like fully educated on some of these things. So it's unfortunate, but you kind of have to beat them at their own game by just coming from a very objective place with a lot of, you know, evidence, receipts, a lot of facts. Oh, I see. Okay. And how did that happen again? If you don't want to, if you don't want to talk about that, you don't have to talk about it. But like, okay, man. A lot of times, judges, I don't know. I've had bad experiences with judges personally. Like, they're assholes. I'm just gonna put it like it is. So again, you've got to kind of manipulate them at their own game, or play them at their own game by, in a sense. But I feel like that book probably has a lot of good ideas about stuff like that. But I also wonder if that Rebecca person or whatever on her channel, she probably has stuff like that, like how to approach going to court. And actually, if you look up on YouTube, like, tips for going to court with a narcissist, there's actually a lot of videos on there about it. Yeah, I would know. I've looked into it. So, yeah. And there's a lot of good tips on there, but that's, I think, the most important one is just keeping your cool. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I've been there. And that's, I mean, it's crazy because it is so easy to get a restraining order. You really don't need proof necessarily. It's like hearsay. It's like essentially, as far as I know, because I don't know how you could possibly, yeah, because I've been there. So, and I know you're not the only one, I'm not the only one. There's probably many people out there that have experienced that, and the only reason that that is allowed to happen is because there's not enough, I don't think, strictness around it, but then it's like, at the same time, when I've had to go, I've been like reamed. I think that judge was just a bitch, but it's just, I hate court. I hate judges. I really do. I just think they're so. I mean, do you have like, I guess, do you have a lawyer and stuff like that? Are they advising you on how to approach it? Because my whole thing is, I mean, I think that would be important to convey to the judge, as long as there's like, you have proof of that in some way, shape, or form, or if you have some type of proof that she's lied before about your character, or other evidence that where she smeared your character, text messages, emails, social media, anything like that, to prove that she has a pattern of doing this. She has a pattern of smearing your character and flipping things on you. If you can find a way to convey that to the judge, that that's what's going on. But then it's like, I don't know. It's tough, but I think you definitely want to make sure that you can say everything that you need to say to the judge. Like, but are you saying that oh, the judge wouldn't let you speak? Oh my fucking God. That doesn't make any sense. Because if you went to appeal the restraining order, then you absolutely should have been given an opportunity to speak. I'm pretty sure if that's the case, I'm pretty sure you can go back and, like, there's got to be something you can do about that. There's got to be something you can do about, like, the fact that you weren't given an opportunity to speak for yourself, because, like, isn't that the point of, like, if somebody gets a restraining order on you and you go to try to, like, I've had to do that before on somebody who got a false, on an abusive person who got a false restraining order against me, and I talked the whole fucking time. Like, I talked a lot. I talked a lot. But judges are just idiots, a lot of them, unfortunately, and they're all, like, old and need to go croak somewhere and, like, retire 20 years ago. But they don't, and so they're idiots who don't even have up-to-date knowledge on the shit that they're fucking making judgments about. And then a lot of times they're just not educated on abuse or psychology. I think over time, like, obviously they see enough people in order to know. So I think that's another thing But actually, I don't know. I don't agree with that because I think they still don't do shit about it, even if that's, yeah, no, that's just bullshit. I don't trust the courts. I don't like the courts. I don't. Mm-mm. A lot of people who work in the courts, I hate to say it, seem like they have control issues. I interned at the court, and oh my god. Holy shit. Assholes. Serious assholes. One time a referee called me out when I was interning for the court because I didn't hold the door open for him. What a misogynistic fucking prick. Like, how dare you? And if it was me today and he said that to me, I would have said, with all due respect, but I am not your maid and I am not required to stand there for 20 extra seconds to hold the door open for you, sir, just because I intern here and you're a referee. I don't know who the fuck you thought who the fuck you thought you were, or what the fuck you thought this was. Fucking prick. I don't like that. Ugh. A lot of misogynistic, entitled men, or really bitchy, dried up, washed up, I don't know, not getting any females in the court. Or then you have the people that, like, they think they're cool because they work at the court. Pfft, LOL. You think you're cool because you work for the most fucked up system maybe in the world. You are not cool. You are a joke that's laughable. Your quote unquote honor. Give me a break. Your honor. I'm sorry. Like, what's so honorable? Because your discernment isn't honorable, bitch. So why are we calling you your honor? I didn't have a lawyer. Cheating and the lawyer said they'd open on the kids. Yeah, but can't you like, well, I don't know. Can't you like, I don't know how court works to that degree, but can't you like request a lawyer, or no? Am I wrong on that? I don't know. Can't you get like a free one or something like that, I thought? Or is that only in certain like specific cases, I guess, or whatever? But I mean, lawyers don't always help. The lawyer that I had, the free lawyer I had, she was awful. Let's just put it that way. Jesus. So you haven't seen them at all, or? These people are just, I don't even know. Oh. Hmm. Well, wait. What are you saying? Yes, I have to. I forget. That's bad. Like, yes, you did request a lawyer, or? I don't know. But I just... Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I thought she was like keeping them from you completely or something. Well, maybe you can go rogue and be a nomad the other days of the week. Or you can just go rogue all the time and then you can just have her pick up the kids at various anonymous random locations. I don't know. Off grid. Woo! Off grid living. Oh, wow. And her family is like, they're all narcissistic. They're all about image. They're kind of uppity or like, come from money, those kind of vibes. Because, boy, that is hard to get in with that crowd of type of people. Trust me, I know. That's how my family of origin is. So, and I rebel against it because I don't respect it. Wow. Yep, it's like they don't this specific type of like people of socioeconomic status from a particular, well, I guess I can only speak on one particular race, but like yeah, tend to be very judgmental, very like, you've got to fit into these criteria or else we won't accept you. And if, or they're fake and they pretend that they do, but then they talk shit behind your back and then they're like kind of funny in your face, but like they pretend that they accept you or something. It's gross. Very passive aggressive energy. Nobody has the balls to just come out and say what they're passive aggressively communicating with their body language or their tone or their looks or their avoidance, or it's very covert. Yeah. Yeah, and that's gross energy too. Where it's like, yeah, they just care about how the family looks and how the kids make the family look, and that ties into who they date or who they marry or don't marry or what they do, period. And so that's a part of it. It's like it's anything that they think might, in their warped, fucked up heads, taint this false image. I don't know. It's total mind fuck. Total mind fuck. And it's a very confusing dynamic for kids to be in because there's just constant gaslighting. Everything is gaslighting. The body language is gaslighting. The tone of voices are gaslighting. The interactions are gaslighting. The looks, the everything, literally everything. And so that's, rough on kids because, just speaking from my own personal experience, because reality and fantasy get warped. Reality and illusion get warped and it impacts discernment. But you can be that buffer that helps them with the discernment by just showcasing and demonstrating something different. Just authenticity. essentially, and then that helps create discernment because it's like, huh, this doesn't feel good over here, or this doesn't feel as good, or it feels kind of cold, or detached or whatever, and this over here feels more real. It's like, I don't know. So there's ways around it. It's not hopeless or anything like that, of course, but life is just a weird thing. I don't get the point of it. I don't mean that in like a depressing way. I just mean, you know, really, what's the point? But I think it's like what I said earlier about the tarot school thing. Oh, that is just like so awkward. This person that's coming to park over. Hopefully not right behind me. Please don't park behind me. Bye. See ya. What? Oh God, I'm scared. Huh. I think that was a female that walked by. I think. And I think they might have picked up on my energy of fear because they started walking faster. Because I was scared because I didn't know who it was. They didn't look at me, but sometimes when you're sensitive to energy, you just pick up on stuff. But, yep. Do you smoke at all, gun guy? I don't know if I asked you this ever. I probably have, but maybe I haven't. I feel like I asked, that's one of the questions sometimes I'll ask people, like, do you smoke weed? I know you have more pressing matters at hand, but on a lighter note, oh, you do? Nice, okay. Are you smoking right now, or what do you, I don't know, do you like smoking sativas or indicas, or, I like sativas, I'm smoking a sativa. Oh my gosh, no way. Oh, nice. Okay. Okay, indicas. Nice. So what's the name of the strain? And like, are you what area of the US are you in? You might have already said this too. I don't know. Are you in the US? I don't know. Probably. Hmm. Well, this is called sour shots. The stuff that I'm smoking, it's got sour diesel in it. It is great. Oh, white nitro is the name of the strain. That's sweet. Oh, wow. I've always wanted to go to Maine. I've never been to Maine or Rhode Island. Both sound like nice places. I swear I just heard a dog bark. I'm about to get off here in a second and come back on and do the reading. I'm going to try to make it kind of short or like not a really long reading. That sounds like somebody was listening to Mob Deep.
Alright, I'll be right back on here in just a second.